Probando. Probando. And I do believe that we are live. Buenas noches, gente. This is, as always, Isidro Montalvo Espinosa, broadcast coordinator for Liga Nacional Puertorriqueña en Vivo. With me, as always, is my co host, the redoubtable Luisa. How are you doing? I'm very sorry, Luisa. Can you say that again?
Which part?
Basically all of it, because at some point, Discord evolved the ability to separate out windows. So it was
Huh.
set to the LNP channel, but not your call.
Interesting. Well,
So
that
how
takes a
are you
lot of
doing,
the
Louisa?
that takes a lot of wind out of my sails because I said I'm very excited. And I can't wait to start a new season. We have new commercials, and I hear from you hints that there is a interesting new ballpark to see.
Yes, I cannot wait to show you this. I'm very, very excited. I know Will is watching. Hi, Will, and he can already see
Well,
it. So this is pretty awesome. Will thinks it looks sweet. I don't know if you're going to agree with him on this.
okay.
We wanted to make sure that we went in and we got Luisa's authentic reaction because I've seen this. I've been playing through the Navegadores since 1907 spring training. Luisa has not seen this ballpark, and I genuinely do not know what reaction she is about to have. So this is very
Oh
exciting.
no. Okay.
We're all gonna find out together. So I'm gonna share my screen now, and we're gonna get her live reaction. And there we go. Luisa, any
It's
thoughts?
loading. Whoa! What? Are they inside?
Yeah, they're in what I submit to you looks like they're playing in a grain elevator.
It's like a circus tent. How tall is this thing?
I don't know, but it is. I'm gonna say this: the ugliest ballpark I have ever seen in the Liga Nacional Puertorriqueña.
Yeah, it must be brand new, but it looks like pre-mildewed.
Says Will. Pre-mill dude is great. Says Will inside and lights in 1907. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I have many questions about how all of this was achieved, especially in Puerto Rico, which presumably would have had to start using domes for rain more than anything else. I guess that's the
Yeah.
main reason they use them in the States, too. That's not really any different. But uh, this, for some reason, is the new standard spring. Ooh. Lone Depot Park catching stray bullets. 3 minutes into the broadcast says, well, looks better than the park in Miami, just saying. Wow,
Now,
alright.
is that an American flag? I don't like to see that back there.
Exactly. And you have just learned the thing I tried to take out of there earlier
Aha!
today and found that apparently that comes with the dome.
Oh, it's a load-bearing flag. I see.
Yes. It's
Oh man.
a dome bless America. America
Well,
the circular. I don't know.
that's right.
Cylindrical.
If I squint, which is not hard because I've had my eyes dilated today, but if I squint, I can imagine that that's the Puerto Rican
I
flag.
was I was wondering how you were gonna bring that into the broadcast, and that was relatively subtle. I'm actually very proud of you.
Luckily that was this morning and I can almost see normally, so everything's fine.
Well, unfortunately, seeing normally is actually a deficit when it comes to a Liga
Mm,
Nacional Puertorriqueña game, especially a spring training game between the Navegadores de Naguabo and the Palomas de Cidra. This is the
ooh.
first time. Yeah, can you talk a little bit about why the ooh sound there?
Well, we know they're rivals, and we
Mm-hmm.
have seen Cidra beat the Naves, even though we on this broadcast follow the Naves. Cidra has beaten them quite a few times.
Exactly, and most notably, Sidra bounced them out in the first round of last year's playoffs as the
Yeah.
16 seed upsetting the 1 seed. You know that thing that used to never happen in March Madness and now happens like once every other year? And don't look behind the curtain at the sports gambling that is all part of this now. Absolutely never. But it is a fairly regular occurrence in the Liga Nacional Puertorriqueña. We do not need to be embarrassed by it happening, but it is definitely a source of anger, I would say, for the 1907 Navegadores. I think they are going to be very mad that this happened. I think they're going to be out for blood today as they face the Palomas for the first time since. And I think if you're a Navegadores fan, and both of us in the booth are, although each of us has other teams that we also like as well. We don't need to get into that right now. They're predicted to beat Ponce in the division this year.
Woo! Don't say it too loud.
Yeah, fingers crossed. But at any rate, the hope for the Navegadores is to have a good spring, to get some prospects in the pipeline that can help the team this year. There are several of them that are making some pretty good strides. In fact, two of them are in the lineup tonight, but we'll get to that in a second. Before we announce the starting lineups, we have our first pitch and we get moving. Actually, there are two things we should do. One is I should mention that today we are going to have a new seventh inning stretch. Historically, that has not been what you would call a strong time for us. We don't tend to have a whole lot of interesting things happening, but we figured out a way to maybe make a little bit more of an effective use of that time and continue our twin
missions.
Yes,
goals.
that is the right word. Mission is exactly the right word. Our twin missions here at Liga Nacional Puertorriqueña en Vivo, which is to entertain, but of course also to inform. And then the second thing we have to do before our starting pitch, our starting lineups and first pitch, I guess it's the same thing. Starting pitch, first pitch, who cares? Oh, sorry, says Will, is Aversatil on the field before the game? Yeah, the Palomas mascot is walking around flirting with the entire front row.
Oh, I imagine they have such beautiful feathery wings.
Yeah, and it would be winking at everyone.
Mm-hmm.
How hard do you think it would be to get a mascot costume that can wink? Now, not in 1907. In 1907, that would look terrifying.
Yes. I feel like that wouldn't be too hard nowadays. You get like a spring-loaded thing. You have like a little squeeze bulb that you do it. Yeah,
Okay.
You can do that. No problem.
Fair enough. Yeah, because you'd have to, because that's the other problem. The Palomas de Cidra have a weird mascot. It's a very sexy pigeon, which are not words that I needed to come out of my mouth at any point in my life. I could have died happy never saying them, and yet I did.
And I created this sexy pigeon, so I love it, actually. Thank you very much.
We need to stop saying the phrase sexy pigeon. Or we need to say it a lot more often, and we'll widen our audience in the most interesting way.
Yes, it's true. I love that pigeon, though.
Fair enough. Oh,
so
no,
sassy.
No, Will saying it. Oh no. Anyway.
Oh, it's very good.
Yeah,
yes.
we've been watching a lot of Ugly Betty, and I think Aversatil has severe Wilhelmina Slater energy. She's Vanessa Williams' character, if you're not familiar.
Okay.
Very kind of above it all, kind of. I'm the hottest thing in this place, which is probably true because I mean you're a giant pigeon costume, so that can't be comfortable for the person inside of it.
And inside a dome, are people baking inside this dome? I have to feel like they probably
not. Although depending on, I don't know which commercials you're gonna read, but depending on them, we may have a solution for that problem. So we'll see. And if it doesn't happen today, then I guess you're just going to have to watch the rest of the games this season. So we can read that commercial. Our goal this year, we are going to do this. I don't know how, but we are going to do it. Our goal this year is that if you watch the entire season, you will never hear a repeat commercial. Every game should have its own commercials. I'm pretty close to translating about 16, which I believe is the minimum number. I'm going to try to get to 20 to 24 so we can cover the postseason as well.
Very good.
And we'll obviously try to bring back This Day in LMP History, which was pretty good. It was entertaining to do last year. We're going to try to bring that back. So, the last thing we need to do before our starting lineups and our first pitch. We have so many sponsors that make possible our broadcast and our ability to communicate these games to you, our revered audience. But there is one sponsor that stands head and shoulders above everybody else, but it's not head and shoulders. It's a different company. What company is it, Louisa?
You might be able to use it the same way you would use Head and Shoulders because, folks, this is Dr. Gonzalez Wood Tar Liquor, the one commercial we will never change. And I will let you know that 70,000 patients have been cured over 15 years with it. Chronic colds, rogue coughs, abundant chest discharges, asthma, bronchitis, and other respiratory ailments, all cured with it. It helps with both consumption and bladder catarrh, which is inflammation. It also purifies your overhumored blood, and it whets the appetite for fattening. Not to be confused with other Dr. Gonzalez Wood Tar liquors, except no substitutes. And of course, you know, it's sold in all good pharmacies, especially San Juan's own Farmacia Guillemette, at the corner of Calle de San Francisco and Calle de la Cruz.
God knows this week I probably could have used some of Dr. Gonzalez's wood tar liquor.
Oh yeah?
Yeah,
Perk you up?
Yeah, I got a monster cough. See, even that. I can't even pronounce words correctly. Just brutal. And I'm pretty sure it's just some kind of inflammation of the esophagus. Esophageal catarrh, perhaps, at the time.
Yes. Yes, some nice soothing wood tar would take care of that.
Exactly. But I do feel quite tubercular sometimes, so a couple shots of the wood tar liquor would certainly be helpful.
The important thing is never to cough into a handkerchief and then look and see that it's blood. If you never look when you cough, you'll never be able to find out it's blood and that you're dying in a tragic 19th century novel.
I very much appreciate this Broadway tip you've just given me.
You're welcome.
All right, here goes nothing. The starting lineup tonight for the visiting Navegadores de Naguabo, although just like with the Copa Mundial games, teams aren't really visiting or home teams in this interdimensional void that is apparently somewhere in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
But for the visiting Navegadores de Naguabo, leading off the designated hitter, number 16, Rob Feaster, whose nickname is?
I'm sorry, I did lose track of the audio a little bit. You said Rob Feaster, and he is, of course, the Grackle.
Thank you very much. Batting second and playing right field, number 56, Frank Del Castillo.
Diablo Rojo.
Batting third and catching in his first season as the starting catcher for the Navegadores, number 17, Pablo Salmeron.
Rodillon.
Batting fourth and playing third base, number 12, Wally Bach.
The Human Ripcord.
Batting fifth and playing first base, number 23, Min Soo Kim.
Ooh, does he have a nickname?
Tronchavates, which means Bat Buster.
Oh, yes, of course.
Apparently he blew the Malditos' entire budget that year when he was down there.
He had something to prove.
I guess so. Batting sixth and playing second base, number 34, Adam McKinnon. As far as I know, he doesn't have a nickname. Maybe he'll get one when... You know, he would be a good candidate to succeed to the Flying Scotsman nickname. The guy can run.
Okay, well, he'll have to earn it, I suppose.
Is there a famous... Dick Turpin was English, right?
Yes.
Is there a famous Scottish highwayman? Don't say Sonny Bean.
I want to say Rob Roy, not that he was a highwayman, but...
Oh, but I like where your head's at, though.
Instigator, I suppose.
I like where your head's at, I guess.
Thank you.
Batting seventh and playing shortstop, number 43, Chenda Su. Also doesn't have a nickname, but what he does have is a goatee he did not have 2 months ago.
Amazing.
I think he got made fun of for being the youngest Navegador and decided, enough of this. I'm not putting up with this crap.
Yes, I would do the same if I was him.
Batting eighth and playing center field, number 35, Francisco Boucher, which we've said this a number of times now. It's just French for Frank Bucket.
It sounds so much nicer in French, though, doesn't it?
Sure. In French and technically, I guess, mixed Spanish, because it's not Francois Boucher. That's actually the problem. There's another Haitian player named Francois Belle, and I constantly confuse the two, even though they're not even playing in the same league anymore.
Oh, that's funny.
And also, I signed one of them to the Navegadores.
Yeah.
And batting ninth and playing left field, number 66, Abraham Sartika. He's a bit of a new face, Indonesian signing last year. Currently still on the Malditos. Took a bit of a tumble this year in the prospect rankings.
Now tell us, where are other special guys that we don't see today? Are they just not in today's game?
They are not. During spring training, they switched the lineup quite a bit. So if you see a bunch of new guys in the starting lineup, they'll get brought in as the game goes on. And vice versa. If you start with the starting lineup, they will get replaced. Because the idea is to get everybody at bats, get everybody innings pitched, make sure that everyone gets a shot to show their stuff. And then at the end of the spring, you make roster cuts. You say, okay, you're going to go down to the developmental team. We probably are not going to have a spot for you, so let's see if we can trade you. Or, if you just want to try the market, that sounds good to us too. All that sort of thing.
Okay.
Of course, that would be if this was a normal game, but this is the first time that they are facing the team that bounced them out of the postseason. So they're probably pretty annoyed at this team, I would imagine.
Yeah.
So they're going to take every possible chance to destroy these Palomas. And speaking of the Palomas, the lineup for the Palomas de Cidra. Batting leadoff and playing center field, number 10, Hercules Guerrero.
Ooh, that's a tough guy name.
It sure is. Batting second and playing first base. You should remember him. He led off for Puerto Rico in the Copa Mundial, number 21, Antenor Juárez.
Very nice.
Batting third and playing third base, number 29, Eduardo Quiñones. Batting fourth, the designated hitter, number 14, Agamenon Riestra. Batting fifth and playing shortstop, number 9, Enrique Santos. Batting sixth and playing right field, number 28, the other Danish player in Liga Nacional Puertorriqueña history, Joachim Kofod. Batting seventh and playing left field, number 24, Roberto Corona. Batting eighth and playing second base, number 46, Alrigo Garcia. And batting ninth and catching, one of the few players to have hit a home run during Primaverales, number 39, Hugo Sierra. Who I think that name is just Spanish for huge range.
Oh, nice.
Which is ironic, because that's what he doesn't have. He's a catcher. He's pretty limited, he sits behind the plate. That's his thing. Pitching for the Palomas de Cidra tonight, number 22, Aníbal Mojica, who has pitched 11 innings in the spring. 1 win, no losses, 8 hits, 2 runs, ERA of 1.64, 2 strikeouts, 1 walk. We don't have to worry about the weather, and we'll check out of town every couple innings or so, see if there's anything interesting going on. But I think it's time we started this game, don't you?
Yay! Finally.
All right, here we go. Oh, interesting. We don't even get a starting pan, and on the 2-2 count, Rob Feaster launches that one over the wall.
What? What the heck?
First home run.
They really did take it personally that they're up against the Palomas again, huh?
They sure did. Wow. Rob Feaster drops one into right field 119 meters away, and Cidra falls behind Naguabo 5 pitches in. Hey, maybe don't throw the same pitch 5 times in a row.
How funny would it have been if they'd shown the stadium, but only from the outside? Like we panned all the way around it and only got to see all the walls?
That would have been hilarious. Very unfortunate that we're not getting to see that.
Yep.
Anyway, by the way, Rob Feaster after that is hitting .324. He was hitting .303 beforehand, with 3 runs batted in and 4 stolen bases. As Will says, the Grackle came to play. Here comes Franklin Castillo, who's batting 179, OPS of 437, 2 runs batted in. Those numbers are horrible. Let's see how he does. Also takes Mojica to a 2-2 count and strikes out on a curveball. Mojica, so far, just going for the cutters and curveballs against this crew. Here comes Salmeron, who had a tough start to the spring, but he's currently hitting OPS of 699, 1 home runs, 4 runs batted in. Let's see what he can do.
Notice they've got an electronic board back there to put the guys
Exactly. 1-0 count. He grounds out to second. Will get thrown out Garcia to Juárez, and that is out number 2. Cutter and curveball once again not moving from those pitches. Here comes Wally Bach. Now he's having a great spring. OPS of 985, 1 home run, 9 runs batted in. Mojica's 12 pitches in. Let's see what he can do. On the 0-2, Bach sends that one into left field, but not enough speed on it, and it is caught by Corona, who's waiting. So that Rob Feaster solo shot is all they'll get, but that puts them ahead 1-0. And now it's up to a man you know and love for these Navegadores. Pitching tonight for the Navegadores de Nahuabo, number 3, Everton Stack.
Woo!
10 1/3 innings, 2 wins, no losses, 5 hits, 2 walks, 8 strikeouts. No earned runs yet, and he faces the top of the lineup. Starting with Guerrero, who is sitting on a 485 OPS. No home runs, no runs batted in, no stolen bases. Oh, hey, he broke out the changeup finally, Mojica.
Oh, nice.
That's pretty cool. Because this is a spring training game, we are already going to make sure that there are guys going in the pen just in case Stock, rips his arm open or something like that. It's already happened to a number of the league's best starters. So we're going to be very careful with him.
He needs a nickname, so I don't keep thinking of him as Stack of Pancakes.
I mean, that's not a bad one. We tried to come up with a few of them. I think most of mine butchered song lyrics. I seem to remember I'm the Stack Man was one of them.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it is if you can make the noise after it, which I can't. That is exactly what mine was. He's the Stack Man. Skip it a pop pop. Yep. That's what I said. Great. All right, here we go. Hercules Guerrero against Stack. Guerrero bounces that one right to first base. That's an easy one for Kim. He steps on the base himself, and the man is out. By the way, Kim, I think, is now the biggest Navegador in terms of height and weight. It used to be Stonehand, and when they were on the same team, plus Valdez, there were these years, every week there would be a poll, and sometimes the poll would be who are the heaviest players in the league, and Navegadores would have 3 of them, of the 5.
That's wild.
Big boys, man. Here comes Antenor Juárez, 526 OPS, 1 run batted in. Pitiful numbers. Let's see what Stack does with that. 0-1 count. Ground out to second this time. Easy one for McKinnon to Kim, and Juárez is out. 2 outs. Bases remain empty for Eduardo Quiñones. I want to point out, by the way, this entire infield, except for Wally Bach, is all malditos, because Kim is not a starter yet. Although he might, Kim is probably going to be the starting designated hitter this year.
Okay.
Because Salmeron is moving behind the plate.
Yes.
And Rob Feaster would play first, so...
How long have the Malditos been around?
1904, so this will be their 4th season in existence.
Okay, so they're really paying off as a starter for the Naves.
They were second in their division last year. They missed the wild card by 2 games. And that's one reason we don't want to give too many guys the promotion, because we wanted them to win at the lower level before we promote them up.
Okay.
All right, here we go. 2 out, spaces empty for Eduardo Quiñones. 2-1 count from Stack. Another ground out. McKinnon running in to get it. Throws to first. And that's another reason he's the Flying Scotsman. Cidra goes down cleanly in the bottom of the first. We're through 1. Nagual remains in the lead 1-0. Everton Stack effectively using that sinker fastball combo he's famous for as Aníbal Mojica takes on the mound once again. He's allowed a hit, an earned run, and a strikeout through 1 inning, 15 pitches. He'll face Kim, McKinnon, and Sue. Now, this is pretty funny. Salmeron, Bach, and Kim all have power ratings of 100. At the time, that's a low bar. You do not have to actually be that muscular with the way you use the bat to reach that power rating. There just weren't that many power hitters. That's a relative rating.
Okay.
Having said that, at least for Kim and Bach, that is for real. They really can't punch the ball that hard. So,
Yeah.
I have to imagine that facing those 3 batters in a row is going to be murder on opposing hitters. Pardon me while I take a shot of restorative wood tar liquor.
Yes. See, now I mentioned that you said it's not Head and Shoulders, and I said it could be used that way because tar, usually coal tar, is a big ingredient of dandruff shampoos. So I feel like wood tar liquor could maybe help out on your scalp.
Is that just to make the what is the point of using coal tar in a dandruff shampoo?
I actually don't know. I thought it was to help keep some type of oil on the scalp more firmly, but
Irrigated.
I'm not sure. Yes, true.
Yeah, that makes sense. Because my first thought was I just heard the coal part and I started thinking of like exfoliation, and I'm like, but that's the opposite of what a dandruff shampoo should do, really. So,
Yes, true.
if anything, it should refoliate, infoliate. We don't need to keep talking about dandruff. We want the viewers we have to remain here.
When I try to think of skin as like layers of cells like leaves, I don't enjoy it.
Yep. People don't know this, but that's actually what inspired the title of Leaves of Grass.
I contain multitudes.
Of cells. Yes, many.
Yep.
Walt,
Yep.
you were right. All right, Minsu Kim, 408 OPS. No home runs, no runs batted in. But here against Mojica, on the 3-1 count, he draws a walk on a cutter. Broke out all 3 pitches, didn't get anything out of them. And here comes Adam McKinnon, 7 for 28, OPS of 594, 3 stolen bases, and not much else to recommend him so far in spring. Man on first and no outs. What's McKinnon going to do here? 1-0 count. Oof. That was a good pitch to swing on, but he got under it, and it's popped up. Big can of corn for Quiñones, who comes in and puts it away for out number 1.
I've noticed the stands aren't very full. I was wondering who was wearing that minty green, but that's just the seat color.
Yes, it is. Yeah, spring training games are usually pretty sparsely attended. I could be wrong about this, but I think in some places they don't even charge. No, I don't think it's those. I think it's the rookie league that doesn't charge admission fees because they also don't have concessions or anything.
Oh, okay.
So here comes Chenda Su, 464 OPS, no home runs, 3 runs batted in. Pardon me. More wood tar liquor. Man on first and 1 out. Chenda Su, one of several Cambodians playing baseball. He, in particular, is the Naves as a utility man. He can play second, third, short, and left field. And with 2 outs and a man, whoa, that was a good at-bat, but unfortunately called third strike on that cutter away, and he goes down. So here comes Francisco Boucher, who is currently sitting on a 426 OPS. No home runs, no runs batted in, and with 2 outs and a man on first, he's got to do something here. Francisco, former Corcel de Santa Isabel. By the way, that's the other reason he's confusing. Francois Bellet also played for Santa Isabel at the same time. But he's stuck around, and he looks to be, one day, I would imagine, he'll take over for Ham Underwood in center field, or he will move to left, and Ham Underwood will stay in center field. We'll see how it goes. First pitch, Boucher with a line drive into left field. That lands in front of Corona, and Kim moves to second. So he comes through there, and here comes Abraham Sartica. OPS of 317, 1 run batted in. Let's see if he can drive anybody in. He really should, if anything, try to get on the bases because the man can move. Minsu Kim unfortunately can't, but here goes nothing. 2 on, 2 outs. 0-1 count. Sartiga pops it up, and that should end the frame. Easy catch there for Garcia. The top of the second is over. The Navegadores get a walk, a base hit, and strand both runners. So now it's up to Stack to hold the lead here against the Heartsmen from the Palomas lineup. See, Norman and Pino will be in the pen. And Riestra, the designated hitter, will come up. 593 OPS, 1 run batted in. Let's see what happens here. Everton Stack took 7 pitches to dismiss that first inning. He's been on rare form. As here, Riestra grounds out on the first pitch to Wally Bach. It's thrown to Kim, and that's out number 1. A fastball that time. If he's got them grounding out on his fastball, I think this is going to be a long day for Cidra.
Well, that's good. We want to see the Naves make their comeback.
We sure do. Enrique Santos coming up next. Now he's doing well. 916 OPS, 2 runs batted in, and a steal. He came over from the Picudos de Ceiba, one of the Navegadores' intra-divisional rivals in 1905. On the 1-2 count, gets that, not quite past McKinnon. It goes, he moves it to first, and that's out number 2. And here comes Jokum Kofod. I have no idea how to pronounce his name, and I keep forgetting to learn because I didn't realize he was... I forgot that he would... This is spring. He would be in the lineup. Do the Palomas specialize in hiring guys whose mustaches are prematurely graying?
Maybe they're using some type of mustache wax that is not very good, but maybe they're sponsored by it and they have to keep using it.
Yeah, maybe it has coal tar in it.
You think that would help with the grayness problem?
And yet, here we are. Maybe their natural hair color is just so much lighter that that's what it looks like. That's all the tar can do.
Yes, they've got those little blonde teenage mustaches, and they're just putting in as much coal tar as they can to make them look good.
And it makes them look the color of like a Batman suit.
I love that idea.
OPS of 531, no home runs, 2 runs batted in, 2 out, spaces empty, 1-2 count from Everton. Stack freezes him with a curveball, and the inning is over. We're through 2. Navegadores remain in the lead 1-0. So we're through 2 innings. Things are going fairly well. Also, that was a hell of an at-bat. Fouling off 4 stacked pitches in a row. Fastball, splitter, curveball, fastball. So Everton maybe starting, not exactly to flag a bit, but they're starting to see what he's trying to do, I think. See if anything interesting has been going on around here. We're not going to look at the scores or anything. We're really just trying to see if anybody's hit home runs, that sort of thing.
Like our game where we had it right in the very first at-bat?
Yeah. 5 pitches
Incredible.
in. Incredible name, Cremon Nelson. Never going to get over the fact that that's a guy that exists.
Huh. What type of name is that, I wonder?
I believe the man is Irish. It may have been, this happened with Porrick Quinlevin, where a lot of these guys ended up listed as their 2 last names when they came into this league.
Oh, I see.
Or sometimes 2 first names. There's a guy on the Murciélagos. Oh no, that guy's Jamaican. Kieran Michael is a guy on the Murciélagos this year. Whoa, George Lenoir. Let's go.
That's pretty good. Not French, though. It's not Georges.
Yeah, I assume he's Canadian, but I don't know that for sure. Also, there is definitely a LeBlanc somewhere, but I don't remember where he plays.
It's going to be a good matchup.
Have I told you about this? There is a Puerto Rican comedy movie called My Lucky Day from ages ago. It's from the 90s. Very low budget movie. I think the total budget was somewhere under $500,000.
Wow.
And it's a very silly movie, and I cannot get into most of it and keep the stream family friendly. But there are 4 cops in the movie. It's centered around the heist. Actually, that might be what the $500,000 is. It might be the amount they steal. But it's centered about this guy who ends up wrapped up in this heist. And there are 4 cops chasing him, the unwitting hostage of the robber, and the robber. And of the cops, I'm gonna translate this on the fly, but the rather rotund police officer is his last name is Slim.
Mm-hmm.
The very skinny police officer, his last name is Rounds.
Nice.
The Afro Latino police officer, his last name is Blanco.
Uh-huh.
And the very pale police officer, his last name is Negron.
Makes sense.
Which I guess means he's related to the guy from Three Dog Night.
This is very Midsummer Night's Dream type naming conventions.
Please do not. Okay. I am not a Shakespeare defender for the most part.
Uh-huh.
Do me a huge favor and do not compare El Día de mi Suerte, one of the most garbage movies I have seen in my life, to A Midsummer Night's Dream. It's a very funny movie, but don't do this to me.
Listen, I only meant the names because the names play to the cheap seats, so it sounds like this movie is also trying to play to them.
Yes. Do you think, is that why Dogberry isn't from Midsummer's, right?
No, he's from Much Ado About Nothing.
There it is, yes. But that's a name that would play in the cheap seats now.
Yeah, for sure.
As we know, because he's basically an East-West Bowl player. Anyway, here comes Aníbal Mojica. 2 innings, 32 pitches, 2 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. Faces Rob Feaster, who is 1-1-1-1. 1 hit in 1 at-bat, which was a home run for a run batted in. Let's see what Feaster does here, leading off the third. Mojica obviously a little scared here. Doesn't need to be.
He should be.
Yeah. Well, turns out he didn't need to be because Feaster could not hold up on what appears to be a strikeout on a low curveball. They said he put his shoulder into it, rotated in, and so he is struck out. Welcome, viewers, as you join us. Top of the third, base is empty and 1 out. Here comes Frank Del Castillo, who is 0 for 1 on the night to face Aníbal Mojica. He just got some revenge on the Grackle. Let's see what Del Castillo does to disabuse him of that. Del Castillo grounds that one right to second. It's a hard line drive on the ground. Pardon me, it's a hard ground ball. Garcia has no trouble at all retiring him at first. So here comes Rodillon, Pablo Salmeron, the man who is more than anybody going to have to take some responsibility this year for running this team. He inherits, of course, an excellent pitching staff. The question is, can he be the catcher that Spike Stonehand trained him to be? He's 0 for 1 on the night. Base is empty, 2 outs, full count, can't lose. Actually, totally can, because that is a can of corn into right center.
Oh, boy.
Guerrero has all the time in the world to get there, and that is a clean inning for Naguabo. The wrong direction for them to go in here.
It's a shame that was a pretty good hit, if only it was in the gap.
Yeah, the sound off the bat was pretty hollow, so you could kind of tell it was going to hang. With a dome, obviously wind is not an issue, although this thing looks big enough to be generating its own atmosphere.
Yeah, it sure does. You can imagine storm clouds forming right at the top.
Well, you know what it is during the baseball off season, they use it to store wheat in.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
So anyway, in the bottom of the third, here comes Roberto Corona, who is sitting on a 425 OPS, 2 runs batted in. He'll face Stack, who is at 19 pitches over 2 innings with a strikeout. We are going to put Pino and Norman. And Norman. Pino and Norman. Pino, Norman.
2.
Is this a thing?
2. I mean, not spelled the same, but 2 parts of French.
Exactly. Strikes him out. Corona goes down swinging on a splitter away. Here comes Enrico Garcia, 837 OPS, 4 runs batted in, no steals. Let's see how this goes. 0-1 count. Garcia flies out in foul territory. Min-Soo Kim running in. He's got it, and that's out number 2. Low-scoring game so far. Let's see if Hugo Sierra wants to change that. His OPS is 640, mostly thanks to his home run, plus a run batted in. With 2 outs and the bases empty, the catcher could really surprise us here out of the 9-hole. But he won't. Everton Stack gets him swinging on a sinker, and he goes down. Cidra still unable to get anything going through 3 innings. Before we continue with the middle of this game, we are going to have a word from another of our wonderful sponsors. Before I step away, I will remind everybody these are real entries in a real newspaper, the Boletín Mercantil de Puerto Rico, which apparently, I found this out this year, or for this season, began publication in 1839 under a different name, but we only have issues starting in 1871. How perfect is that? The beginning of the digitized collection is the same as the first year of professional baseball anywhere in the world. How perfect could that be?
Kismet.
And so we are slowly making our way through the issues. We are trying to take it very slow and really mine for gold on every issue. So we're actually, as of right now, I think I've only made it through the middle of February 1871. Dr. Gonzalez is the exception because that ad ran for like 20 years. So of course we were going to honor it. But for the rest of this, I leave you with Louisa. Ahead you go.
Thank you. Folks, I want to tell you about some very fine goods available for purchase from the house of, I don't know if this is a Spanish name or not, Ordeal? Ordeals? Or Gordils, perhaps, if it's just English, no idea. But at this wonderful establishment, you will find, from the most recent steamship to arrive at this port, we have received an extensive assortment of fine silks, both black and in color, of the superior quality which this fine establishment for the outfitting of women is accustomed to employ. Our black silks include the famous Parisian silk, Jal, Ratassini, Grosgrain, Double Taffeta, and Glacé. In color, we have received some incredible I'm mixing my words. We've received incredibly novel entries such as fine pearl gray, cornflower, gold, lilac, dark Bismarck, Italian green, emerald green, pink, white, and others. Silk lace for mantillas, double silk parasols, damask of silk for ornaments, strong types of silk for full skirts and cassocks, round thread cretonne, head coverings in double round thread, a great assortment of decorative fans, and an infinity of other articles coming from the best fabrics of the world, and at very reasonable prices. I love this. I love imagining what colors might be available. Thinking about people living at the time. You read books of this time period, and people would, of course, go to see what the new shipment is to find out what color clothes they would be able to make for themselves. I mean, I'm sure, the rich would have clothes made for them, but if you were a middle-class person, maybe you could afford a bunch of fine fabric, but not having it made into a dress. You'd have to do that yourself. But maybe you go and find out that now you could get cornflower blue or something. So that's very exciting. I like that they distinguish Italian green from emerald green, and I don't know what that distinction would be. And I also worry that it might be the poisonous green that became popular in the 19th century, but hopefully not. Oh, and dark Bismarck, we have looked up, is a brown. It's a type of brown that's used for dyeing both fabrics and leathers. So, like a rich dark brown. Which sounds like a very good, sensible color for a fine silk dress. To prove that you're rich, you're wearing silk, but you're not going to be flashy about it. It's just a nice brown.
Based on what you are saying right now,
Do
I have it right that you are reading about the House of G. Gordil's?
Yes.
Nice. That's a good one.
Yeah, I was saying I know at the time from reading books there were a lot of sort of middle-class women who could afford to buy the silk, but not to have it made into a dress for them. They would have to do the making. So it must be super exciting to find out there's a new steamship in. You go down and you find out what color dress you can make.
Yes, I'm glad we're getting to talk about this. No pun intended. Well, semi-intended. Right off the bat, in
Uh-huh.
our first mid-inning commercial or mid-game commercial, the Bismarck in particular led me on this huge rabbit hole. If you ever wonder how much research we do for these games, I want you to know that for this commercial, I have looked at 2 doctoral dissertations. I have looked at multiple newspapers. I changed search engines, and I currently have a book coming to my local library where I can pick it up about photography. Because as it turns out, the American photographer Edward Wilson had a pamphlet called To My Patrons, which was so popular, this pamphlet, that it ended up selling something like 3 million copies, and he ended up printing it in English, German, and Spanish.
Wow.
And in it, he gives advice for how to sit for a portrait, and what colors to wear, and what fabrics to wear, and how they're going to look when they're rendered obviously in black and white. So he talks about how different colors will render as a richer gray or a lighter gray, or how some of them might even look whiter than actual white would, depending on the fabric that you're wearing.
Amazing.
So he mentions that dark Bismarck or tobacco brown, cigar brown, I assume,
Hmm.
that would look, they might look blacker than a black silk would. So, and they are also, he said, they don't drape pleasantly. I'm guessing,
Hmm.
with the limited way that you can handle um, texture in a fabric, if it's in black and white, right?
Hmm.
I guess they don't look very good. So that was his advice. As it turns out, the text of this pamphlet is not available online, or at least I was not able to find it. And it's especially hard to find it because Edward Wilson also multiple times announced something to his patrons. So if you look up To My Patrons Edward Wilson, you get a lot of announcements about his studio, but not this pamphlet.
Hmm.
However, it is in a book about photography, readings that have to do with photography from the 19th century. So I've asked for the book to be held at my local library. I will go pick it up and report on whether he just called it Dark Bismarck or not.
Yes. Ah, it's
Frankly,
fascinating.
it really is. Color theory is one of the few other places I could find that talked about the names of colors and mentioned Bismarck when you open the page. So it had the meta description saved in Google, but when you open the actual page, it just opens up to a blank page that says account suspended by server administrator.
Oh man.
So it feels as
Have
though the world doesn't want you to know what Dark Bismarck is.
Mhm. Have you
For
ever seen
Mhm.
photos of the set of the Addams Family TV show, the one from back when it was in black and white?
The color photos, the colorized
Yeah.
ones, yeah.
Have you
Hmm.
seen those? Where everything's like magenta and
Hmm.
lime green because it would look like a nice contrast in black and white. It's amazing.
He mentions that, by the way, light Bismarck is apparently a very nice color, comparative to a slate gray, a seafoam green, something he called a light orange, which I don't
Hmm.
know if that's like a peach type thing.
Yeah.
A number of other ones, peach type thing. That's my, what is that, Stone Temple Pilots song?
Yeah, there you go.
Exactly. So, so yes, so I'm very excited to learn this. We did eventually find a Bismarck leather dye, and that's where we were able to conclude that, because otherwise everyone will tell you that Bismarck is either gunmetal blue gray, named after obviously the battleship Bismarck, which is what everybody wants to talk about. If you search Bismarck color, get a new
Yeah.
hobby, people, for the love of Christ, or a sea blue that you might also see
Mm,
called like Biscay blue or something like that.
that's interesting. Yeah, I don't associate a bright blue with Germany.
Right, and especially not with, Bismarck.
Yeah.
The man who explicitly said his reason for not competing in the colonial game or in the naval game was land rats don't compete with sea rats.
Yeah.
So, a ball game. Top of the fourth, Wally Bach, who's 0 for 1, facing off against Aníbal Mojica, who is through 3 innings on 45 pitches, 2 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts. Let's see what he came to do. It's a 1-1 count for Wally Bach, and not quite over the head of Santos. He's got it, and that is out number 1. A cutter sent it to the air. Where it landed, well, we do know where, in Enrique Santos' glove.
He didn't even have to move for it.
Exactly. Here comes Min-Soo Kim. He drew a walk last time he came up. Let's see if he wants to break a bat this time. It's a 1-2 count for him. Kim grounds out to first, and I am sorry to say he does not have the speed to beat that one out. That's out.
Did the pitcher run over there? Was that the pitcher on first?
Yeah, wow. It's standard procedure if the first baseman has to come off first for the pitcher to run and cover.
Huh.
Except on a bunt play, because obviously the pitcher should be watching for the ball to come near the mound. In that case, the second baseman will usually be playing to cover first.
Interesting. That's quite a run for the second baseman.
Usually he plays closer to first base to begin with because the first baseman will be playing down the line. Okay. So they sort of predict that might happen. Anyway, here we're going to make our first substitution of the game. And we're going to bring in now hitting for the Navegadores de Naguabo, number 4, Etaoin Shirtlu.
The font of wisdom.
Thank you very much. He is currently hitting 535 OPS, 3 runs batted in, no steals, with 2 outs and the bases empty. He might be what they need to get things going here. It's a 1-0 count on Mojica. Shirtlu not quite past the third baseman there. Quiñones has it, throws to first. Juárez shows it to the umpire and runs off first. The Navegadores unable to get anything going in their half of the inning. And now Stack has to hold the Palomas off again. This is starting to feel familiar and not in a good way.
Yeah.
Stack through 3 innings, 30 pitches, 3 strikeouts. And that's all she wrote about that. Here comes Hercules Guerrero, who is 0 for 1, the top of the lineup, coming up against Stack. Guerrero strikes out on the splitter, swinging this time. 4th strikeout for Everton Stack. Here comes Antenor Juárez, who's 0 for 1. Base is empty and 1 out. Juárez on the 1-0 count. Puts that one to Shirtlu. He's got it, makes the throw overhand to first, and that's out number 2. The bases remain empty for Quiñones, who's 0 for 1. Let's see how Stack wants to finish this inning, which is so far going amazingly well. Splitters to end both ABs. And Quiñones on the 2-2 count. Hits that one right back to Shirtlu. Second verse, same as the first. He throws it over to first, and it's 2 43rd Street putouts to end the 4th inning. The Navegadores remain ahead 1-0. The Palomas unable to get anything going off of Stack. And now the Palomas are making their own substitution. Now pitching for the Palomas de Cidra. It is number 4, Carlos Rubio. Man, I didn't realize he was that young. Carlos Rubio, he won the Excelentísimo 3 years ago, 1903.
Okay.
Yes.
He's 35? Is that what did I see that correctly?
Correctly. He is only 35. Decline hit him hard. It came for him very early.
Oh, shame.
He kind of fell off. And he was active, by the way. Nothing I have ever said on the stream has been wronger than when I said Hernando Cabrera and Neron Jimenez were the last 2 players active from the 19th century, because Carlos Rubio was also playing in the 19th century.
Oh, I see.
Now, he's currently sitting on 8 innings pitched. He's got untagged with a loss, 8 hits, ERA 2.25, 5 strikeouts, 3 walks. And I should also mention, now playing in left field for the Palomas de Cidra, number 32, Guillermo Rayos, William Thunderbolts.
Ooh, nice.
Here comes Carlos Rubio. Let's see what he does against, nope, not Sue. We're changing that up. Here comes our new hitter. Now hitting for the Navegadores de Naguabo. Now batting, I should say, for the Navegadores de Naguabo. Number 6, Benji Valdez. Pardon me, Benigno Valdez.
Benji! You
Thank
stole
you.
my thunder.
So here we go. 1-1 count for Benji Valdez. What's he going to do? He does not quite get that one past Garcia. He throws over to first, and that's out number 1. Francisco Boucher will also not be hitting for himself in this one. Now batting for the Navegadores en el Huevo, number 27, Graham Underwood.
Sorry, did you say Graham Underwood? I just saw him come up.
Did.
That's Ham.
That is Ham. He is currently doing very well in spring. 820 OPS, 3 runs batted in, no home runs, but 5 steals.
Nice. I love a steal.
Let's see what he does here. 0-2 count. Underwood lifts that one into right field. Leaping catch from the Dane out there. He makes a one-handed grab to take away a base hit. That for sure would have been a double. Look at that defense.
Oh, man. It is very good. I do got to hand it to him.
It's only the top of the 5th. They'll get another chance. And here comes Sartica, who's 0 for 1. 2 outs and the bases empty, except no, we don't. I wouldn't let you go this long without seeing the biggest signing or trade acquisition of the offseason by the Navegadores. Now batting for the Navegadores de Naguabo, number 55, Jake Getman.
I don't remember if he got a nickname.
We still haven't come up with one.
Okay.
He is one of 2 Russian players. No, Orlovsky retired, so I think he's the only Russian player currently in the Liga Nacional Puertorriqueña. Currently in spring, he's sitting on a 764 OPS, 5 runs batted in. He comes up with the bases empty and 2 outs. He used to play for the Milagrosos. He is a 1904 MVP, Ilustrísimo. The Navegadores.
I feel like ball players at the time would just name him something like the Czar because it's super easy.
You're not wrong. We had a couple ideas for what we could do if he hits a home run and that sort of thing. I've got a couple nicknames. No pun intended. No pun intended. Rushing around in my mind, but
very good.
We'll see what happens here. Full count for Jake Getman. Sends that one over center field, and that's not going to have enough air underneath it. Garcia has it, and the inning is over. Naguabo has proven completely unable to maintain their offensive momentum from the top of the game. They're going to have to start stringing some hits together if they want to win this one. So, we move on to the bottom of the 5th. Everton Stack through 4 innings, 4 strikeouts, 41 pitches, 12 strike. Pardon me, sorry. That's all she wrote on his performance so far. We're going to let him stay in, and he will face Riestra, Santos, and Kofon. Riestra 0 for 1 on the day. Here on the 1-0 count. That is sent right to Kim, who moves over to first himself, and Riestra is out. Easy peasy, 2 fastballs, that's all that was needed. Here comes Enrique Santos, who's 0 for 1. Bases empty, 1 out here with a full count. Santos hits that one, and believe it or not, the Palomas have their first base runner of the game. There goes the no-hitter as Everton Stack, his perfect run ends at 4 1/3 innings. Man on first with 1 out. Usually this is when I move the starter out of the way, but you know what? We're going to see if Everton can keep the inning under control. Kofod is 0 for 1 on the day. He takes Stack to a full count and then strikes out on a fastball. 6-pitch at-bat there to bring up Roberto Corona, who struck out back in the 3rd inning. That's Everton Stack's strikeout number 5.
Very good. I can't think of any words to put into a song, otherwise I would do it.
Yeah, no, we're just going to have to stop there. Corona puts a hit through, and they are going to move. Oh! My Lord. Underwood with the outfield assist.
Woo!
Retires the side there. That was a bad stretch there by Corona. Underwood with the throw from center field to Benji, who runs to second and gets there ahead of Corona to end the inning. Wonderful defensive instinct there. He knew the guy was going to make it to third. He goes, I'm betting you I can trick Corona into going for second. And he did. He sure did.
Yeah. He really panicked there.
So we are through 5. The Navegadores, by the skin of their teeth, are hanging on to a 1-0 lead. And here in the top of the 6, they will now be facing number 43, Antonio Fuentes. He's through 11 and 2/3 innings, 10 hits, 3 runs, 7 walks, and 6 strikeouts, ERA of 2.31. Also, now in right field for the Palomas de Cidra, number 52, Ruben Garza. Rob Feaster comes up. He's 1 for 2 with that home run and that ribby. Let's see what he does this time around. Ooh, he's going after the first pitch, Feaster. That is sent right back to first base. Juárez has plenty of time to get back to first. And that's out number 1. 1 pitch and 1 out for Fuentes. Here comes Frank de Castillo, who's 0 for 2 on the day. Can he improve on that performance? Base is empty and 1 out. 3-0 count. De Castillo draws the second walk of the game by a Navegador. He goes to first. 4 fastballs, none of them even close to the zone. I do not know what they thought they were doing there.
Everyone's losing their mind now. It's the middle of the game.
I hope so, because here comes Pablo Salmeron. He's over 2, and I know he would sure like to be impressive here. Let's see if he can come up big for the club. Man on, man out. And on the 0-2 count, Salmeron! Line drive, right field, that lands. It'll be a base hit. His first of the night. De Castillo does stop at second, so they'll have 2 on with 1 out after that curveball got smashed into right field. Salmeron's average goes up to 231, and that puts Wally Bach in nice position to be a hero. And really, we should be singing, Wally, do be a hero.
No, I can't.
It's an 0-2 count.
Can't write any more of that song.
1-1 count. That is grounded out. Taylor made double play ball with Salmeron and Bach on base, and that is exactly what happens. So, maybe they should have sung it louder, as Naguabo is retired in the top of the 6 on a double play ball. Wally Bach hit it almost exactly in the hole where he couldn't, and they go down easy there. Everton Stack will start the 5th, or will he? That's a good question, actually. No, it looks like we could actually have Francis Norman start. So now pitching. Don't make me regret this, Francis. Now pitching for the Navegadores, number 76, Francis Norman. Current holder of the Welsh seat for the Navegadores. And he is sitting on 7 innings of 0.00 ERA ball, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts, 3 hits, no earned runs. No wins and no losses, so let's hope that's how it stays. He will currently face 2 righties and a lefty, so we'll see how it gets. Because now pinch hitting for the Palomas de Cidra, it's number 12, Stephen McGregor, who is sitting on a 315 OPS and 4 runs batted in. Hey, let's play a game. What nationality do you think this guy is?
Okay.
His name is Stephen McGregor. That's all I know. I have no idea either. We are going to find out together.
I'm gonna play it easy. Not the easiest, but I'll say a softball Canadian.
Okay, that's where I was gonna go, so I guess I'll go the other way and say Scottish.
Okay.
And he is English?
What? They must have just crossed over the border. Maybe he's from Yorkshire.
Yeah. There's a lot of those, actually. Actually, let's find out where he's from. He is from Birmingham.
Well, okay. Well, you know what? People move all over. Who knows?
Yeah, exactly. There's a guy, what's his name? Ewan McKenzie, whose name I also kept trying to sing to Eleanor Rigby, if you're wondering. Well, no, his name is Ewan McKenzie. His nickname is Baron McKenzie. So that's, I don't know if he's actually related to nobility or not, but that is what I kept singing to the tune of Father McKenzie. Anyway, he is also English, with a name like Ewan McKenzie.
That's wild.
That is just disgusting behavior, if I'm being honest.
Makes sense that they would call him Baron, though. The same logic as my
Tsar
wanting to
comment.
call
Yep.
Jake, yeah, the czar.
I do like where you're going with that, especially because I think Jake Getman moved from in both universes because he was also a ball player in the universe that you inhabit.
Hmm.
Um,
The bad one,
yeah,
the evil
yeah, the
universe.
one where we all have goatees. He
Yeah.
moved from the village. I forget its name now, Medveditsa or something like that. It's near Volgograd in Russia. But he
Hmm.
moved from there in the 1890s, I believe, to then come play ball. Well, not to come play ball, to go to the United States, and then he played professional baseball. Um,
Hmm.
Here, if I remember correctly, I want to say he played in the British leagues, so he must have had a stop over there, and then he came to the Puerto Rican leagues.
Okay, that's quite circuitous.
A lot of good players from the British leagues, I think eventually. By the way, look at that delivery as
Wow.
that Valdez almost makes that happen. He was running all the way in,
Yeah.
but he didn't want to chance the error in giving McGregor second base instead. So let's see what happens here. He's got an infield single. I don't know how fast he is. Let's see here. Steven McGregor, not very, so hopefully they can keep him under control back there. Hugo Sierra comes up next, the catcher. He's 0 for 1. He struck out last time he came up. Comes up with a man on first and no outs. Let's see if Norman can keep things under control there. Sierra, strike 2 on the bunt there with the fastball. Let's see if they can get another bunt out of him. Norman strikes him out with
Woo.
a fastball. That says away, but it was right down the middle. So here comes
Yeah.
Guillermo Rayos, the aforementioned William Bolts. He's sitting on a perfectly bisected OPS of triple fours, average of triple twos, on base percentage of triple twos, which means his slugging is also triple twos. Let's see what he does here.
A
Man
real
on.
Noah's Ark.
Bangs that one right
Oh.
back to the pitcher. Norman has it, throws to first, and that's out number 2. It's a successful sack bunt there on a close play. McGregor moving over to second, and here comes number 26, Ethan Davis. Now, he's been doing quite well in the spring. OPS of 849, almost entirely powered by a ridiculous on-base percentage. He has been on base more than half the time in the spring.
Wow. That's impressive.
That man is drawing walks like nobody's business because he is batting 286.
I don't like this little eyebrow just below his lip. Not a fan of that type of beard.
That's where his third eye is, but it hasn't opened yet.
That makes sense.
2 runs batted in, no steals. He came over in a trade from Hayuja, July 21st of 1905. Oh, charge.
Charge.
Hits that one hard, but right at Valdez, and the inning is over. Norman gets through unscathed, and we are through 6 innings. The score remains 1-0 as we head to the bottom of the game. Before we continue with the rest of this game and see whether the Navegadores do in fact complete their revenge against the Palomas, we will of course have another word from another of our wonderful sponsors. Luisa, the booth is all yours.
Thank you. Folks, I want to tell you about a new, renovated Spanish restaurant and inn of Don Pedro Lopez. This historic establishment, located on the exquisite beaches of Mayaguez, has just received some necessary improvements for its owner, attentive as always to the comfort of those who patronize it, gives no quarter in his quest to make it a pleasant stay for all passers-by, and indeed intends to place it at the same height as the best examples of it on the island. To this end, new, spacious, and well-ventilated rooms have been built on the top floor, furnished with every decency, and a new grand dining room capable of seating a large number of guests, and which includes every comfort that might be wanted. In regard to our careful service, good treatment of customers, and well-provisioned tables, this house is too well known for us to try to and boast about them, since all who have to spend a night here can testify as much. And it is known that the owner has spent his time and energy on nothing other than to add further credit to it painstaking watch. Today, with the newly introduced improvements, he can finally offer to the public an establishment worthy of the culture of this town, in hopes that his efforts will not go unnoticed by his fellow citizens, who will know how to appreciate his sacrifices. I love this. It's telling you there's improvements to the establishment. Not about the food. Don't worry about that. Other improvements. But also, it's guilting you a little bit. Shouldn't you go there and make his expenditures worth it? Don't you owe this to Don Pedro Lopez? Shouldn't you go and have your wedding there? I don't know if they would do such a thing at the time. I am very curious about the menu, of course. Considering it's a Spanish restaurant, I wonder if it's the sort of thing where a restaurant that's trying to be upscale, especially, needed to seem exotic in some ways. So I wonder if they would try to recreate Spanish dishes from Spain to be sort of
Are you
probably in continental.
are you saying you're wondering whether the Spanish restaurants, whether it's called a Spanish restaurant because the food was Spanish?
Yes, I'm wondering if because they tell you right in there they want to be considered to be upscale and high quality. So I wonder if that would mean continental food.
It might. I'm wondering. So that is a possibility. The other thing I was thinking is it might just be advertising that they cater to European travelers as opposed to maybe
Mm.
people from the rest of the Americas. But yeah, I mean, in Puerto Rico, certainly in this universe, there is a long-standing association between cultural association. I mean, between being Spanish, quote unquote, español, and
Mm-hmm.
being higher class, upscale. So yeah, certainly there might be quite a bit of that.
And I was also wondering if they would have weddings at a place like this at the time, because I don't quite know when we made the switch to a wedding should have a huge reception and like a big catered meal. Like that was absolutely had to be part of it. And I don't know if it would have been at this time or not. So I didn't know
That
they
is a
had
good
weddings.
question. I also don't know. I think at the time in Puerto Rico, it would have been fairly, I think, uncommon
Yeah,
for
that would make sense.
weddings to be anything but church and then perhaps the home.
Yes,
But
that's
I
kind of what
actually
I was
don't know.
thinking. Yeah,
I guess I
sounds
gotta
like a
do more
very cool place
research.
though. I would love to know their menu. I was saying that as well. So
I wonder if
if we see
that's.
anything about that,
Yeah.
what's that?
Well, and the other thing I'm wondering here is I know this wasn't unless they're different Pedros Lopez, which it is entirely possible. It's not an uncommon name, right?
Mhm.
But this is not the only Pedro Lopez I have seen in the pages of the Boletín Mercantil, so maybe this wasn't the
Mhm.
only iron he had in the fire, despite what he makes it seem like in the in this commercial.
I was saying, I especially love the tone in there that maybe you, as a customer, kind of owe it to him to go and eat there because he put so much work into making it nice for you.
Uh
I
huh.
really
And
like that.
stay there, no less.
I love that. Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
the passive aggressivity, the passive aggression that you get in these commercials is out of control.
Hmm.
Okay,
Oh, wonderful.
yes. I do need to. I did forget. I know I said before the game that I probably wasn't going to let people know how things were going on social
Hmm.
media, but I did do it. So if
Okay.
let's see, what else? Basically, what else do we need to talk about as far as
In
this
regards to
the Spanish
this,
inn?
oh, I'm very curious about their menu. I find it interesting they don't mention that one bit. It is all about improvements to the rooms and a new dining hall.
I was also interested in that one because that seems like one of the hardest things to upgrade at an inn. Which I realize we're talking here 19th century. Maybe,
Mhm.
it's not, let's be honest here, there's not a building code authority you have to run everything by.
Yeah. Yeah, there's new rooms on the top floor, which I suppose are rooms to stay in,
Indeed.
and a new grand dining room. So maybe that's just next door or something, and now it's just connected to the inn.
That is true. Yeah, if he bought some more land, and that certainly would explain his desperation to get people to stay
Yes.
there and eat.
And he needs to know that the fellow citizens of Mayaguez will appreciate his sacrifices. So I feel like he's counting on them to also go and eat at the inn sometimes. He needs a regular income from them.
I have to say, I would love to know equivalent of the what equivalent of a public relations specialist at the time existed that when you talk to him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, that would suggest to you, hey, why don't you to get people to come to your building to stay
Mm-hmm.
at your inn? Why don't you sort of you remember how your mom used to guilt you into things? Your Puerto Rican mother? Do that.
Yeah, that's pretty great.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so here we go. Seventh inning of the game. Antonio Fuentes, 11 pitches over that first inning. A hit and a walk, but no damage yet. We'll face Kim. We'll face Shirtlu. We'll face Valdez. Kim is 0 for 1 on the day, plus a walk. And here on the 2-2 count, sends that one right. Man, they are hitting everything to the second base hole. Speaking of which, by the way, now at second base is Ethan Davis. Now at first base is Steven McGregor. And now catching is number 20, Pedro Sanchez, who I believe not to be the only Pedro Sanchez playing baseball right now.
Mm.
Great at bat from Kim, and he gets nothing out of it. 4 foul balls, 8 pitches. Couldn't make it happen. Here comes Shirtlu. He's 0 for 1. 2-2 count. Sends that one way in the air. And it's an easy one for Santos to grab. 2 outs. And the bases remain empty for Valdez. Let's see if Benji can do any better here. He's 0 for 1. He's got a 1057 OPS. He could get himself past the Battle of Hastings here if he does his job. Let's see. I want to actually win this game. Who am I going to put in next? Well, Anbar is definitely going to be a possibility. And then Hancock, I think. Okay, Valdez, 0 for 1. Jeez. Twitch lately is just absolutely... Pardon me. We have to ban a guy.
Of course. So while you do that, I would like to say a quick word from Dr. Gonzalez and his wonderful wood tire liquors. I want to remind you folks that you should purchase some for all your needs. And doctors the world over can confirm that wood tar is a precious medicine, very convenient for the defeat of numerous illnesses. Thousands of patients have been cured by the use of Dr. Gonzalez balsamic wood tar liquor.
Thank you very much, Louisa. We continue with 2 outs, and the base is empty for Benji Valdez. 2-0 count. Pitch coming in. Valdez rolls that one in front of home plate, and he is out. But he doesn't like the call. That's why he was staying there, apparently.
Oh, man.
Not a fan. So Navegadores remains in the lead as we head to the bottom of the 7th, and I would love to be able to predict when this music is going to play and when it isn't, because sometimes it's just the guy saying, join me in singing, take me out to the ball game, and then it just doesn't play, which is very confusing.
It's very... Yeah, I guess we get one or the other. Either he announces it's going to happen, or it just happens.
The sad part, too, is the Palomas have one of the simpler 7th inning stretch songs in the Liga Nacional Puertorriqueña. It's a traditional Puerto Rican one called Dame la mano, Paloma. Give me your hand, pigeon.
They're thinking about that sexy pigeon.
Yeah, exactly. I have to imagine they're all singing it to the mascot. But it's a very traditional Puerto Rican song where you sing, everybody sings the chorus together, and then there are verses that change, but the chorus never does. So there'll be like people who traditionally, if you're like at a party where everybody knows it, somebody will sing the first verse, somebody else will sing the second, and so on.
That's
And
great.
it's got like call and response bits because it's how does it go? Dame la mano, paloma, and everybody's supposed to respond que chévere, which is roughly how cool.
Okay.
And then you say para subir a tu nido to go up to your nest, and the response is supposed to be ooh ah, which now just sounds prurient.
Yes.
And you repeat that. You repeat the first two verses. Que me han dicho que estás sola, que me han dicho que estás sola y acompañarte venido. Which is that they've told me you're alone and I've come to keep you company.
Uh-huh.
Which,
I'm starting to
again...
think this might not be about pigeons, although it
Oh,
might be
yeah?
about the mascot.
Yeah? Whatever gave you that idea?
I'm becoming suspicious. My
Right.
brow is furrowed.
So then the verses tend to be funnier. They tend to be jokes about like different towns and so on. There's one that gets fit into like 3 different meters. Not in this song. That it gets reused for all sorts of different Puerto Rican songs about
Mhm.
a stone in Ciales that is blessed, bendita, and the joke is that any old woman who sits there, amanece jovencita, wakes up a young woman. Things like
Uh-huh.
that.
That's great.
Or that the day you left me, el día que tú te fuiste, the day you told me, el día que me dijiste que tú ya no me querías, that you didn't love me anymore. And then it's
Mm.
hasta la perra de casa me miraba y se reía. Even the dog at home looked at me and laughed at me.
Ugh, man.
Which tells you that Puerto Ricans, I love my people, but they do not understand dogs. Because a dog would never do that to you.
Yeah, exactly. Dogs are always your friend, always on your side.
Exactly. But here's the thing: there was an actual reason that I was waiting for the music to stop, and that's that we wanted to debut a new segment during the 7th inning stretch.
Mm-hmm.
This is the Liga Nacional Puertorriqueña, emphasis on the Puertorriqueña part. And as somebody with a long-standing love of Puerto Rican poetry, in particular, I wanted to make it a part of each game to read into the record a Puerto Rican poem. This one that I'm about to read is by the second Ciales mention in a minute, Ciales
Oh.
native Juan Antonio Correger. He was a member, I believe he was Secretary General at one point of the Puerto Rican Nationalist Party in this universe, and the LMP versus life would have obviously been quite different. The poem is entitled Boricua en la Luna. Roughly, Boricua translates to Puerto Rican from Borinquen, which is the Taino name for Puerto Rico, Boricua on the moon. And I think any Puerto Rican who does not live on the island, whether they were born off of it or live away from it, can feel this poem in their bones. And it goes like this. Desde las ondas del mar, que son besos a su orilla, una mujer de Aguadilla vino a New York a cantar. Pero no, solo a llorar un largo llanto y morir. De ese llanto yo nací como la lluvia una fiera y vivo en larga espera de cobrar lo que perdí. Por un cielo que se hacía más feo, más volaba. A Nueva York se acercaba un peón de las Marías. Con la esperanza decía de un largo día volver. Pero antes me hizo nacer y de tanto trabajar se quedó sin regresar. Reventó en un taller. De una lágrima soy hijo y soy hijo del sudor. Y fue mi abuelo el amor único en mi regocijo, del recuerdo siempre fijo en aquel cristal del llanto, como quimera en el canto de un Puerto Rico de ensueño. Y yo soy puertorriqueño. Sin nada, pero sin quebranto. Y al lechón que me desmienta, que se ande muy derecho. No sea en lo más estrecho de un zaguán pague la renta. Pues según alguien me cuenta, dicen que la luna es una, sea del mar o sea montuna. Y así le grito al villano, yo sería borincano, aunque naciera en la luna. I won't translate the whole thing because it is 40 lines long, but the last stanza is something along the lines of, and for the stuck up prick who tells me otherwise, he'd better keep his head on a swivel, unless he wants to pay back that offense in the narrowest part of an alley. Because, according to what I've been told, they say the moon is the same whether it's over the sea or over the mountain. And so this is what I say back to that villain. I would be Puerto Rican if I had been born on the moon. There is a magnet on my fridge right now that is an astronaut carrying a Puerto Rican flag on the moon. And I think anyone seeing this will probably know where I got it, but in case you needed to know, I got it at Farmacia Puerto Rico Drug, which used to be called Farmacia Guillermetti.
Ah, that's wonderful.
So we'll try to do that going forward. I'll try to find something maybe a little bit less angry for the next one. And we'll when we put this out on YouTube, I'll try to include a full translation of the poem so that you can follow along. What do you say we get back to baseball?
Yes.
All right, here we go.
That's so good.
Bottom of the seventh, Francis Norman got through that inning on 10 pitches. He is not going to be facing. He's doing quite well in the spring. I think I'm going to leave him in, actually. Let's see, what's his pitch mix like? Fastball and slider. Ooh, that could be iffy against lefties. And he is going to face two of them. No, you know what? We're going to bring in Anbar. Now pitching for the Navegadores de Nahuabo, number 10, Kareem Anbar, which is going to trigger Alonso Galvez, the pinch hitter for the Palomas, number 69.
Nice.
To move over, he is sitting on a 627 OPS.
Okay, so he did move over. I caught that out of the corner of my eye, and I was like, did he just move to the other side? He did. Huh.
He's a switch hitter. So when the handiness of the pitcher changed. Anbar has not had a good spring. 6 1/3 innings. He's got a win and no losses. 7 hits, 2 earned runs, 4 strikeouts. The area of 2.84. A sinker and slider guy. So let's see what happens here with him. Hopefully he doesn't just completely fall apart on the mound here. 2 pitches in. He gets Galvez to fly out over to foul territory. Min-Soo Kim has it as the tallest man on that side of the field, and that's out number 1.
Nice.
Here comes designated hitter. Now pinch hitting for the Palomas de Cidra, number 6, Enrique Navarrete, who has faced Anbar once and gotten a hit out of it. He's sitting on a 733 OPS with 3 runs batted in. With 1 out and the bases empty, Anbar. Navarrete unstoppable as he puts one up the middle, and that'll bring a man on. Let's see how fast Navarrete is. Okay, very aggressive on the base paths, but no longer the fast guy he used to be. I don't think he ever was, though. This says 23 stolen bases against 64 catches. The next year...
So he's just very confident that he can do it.
Yeah, but he can't. And he played for a team that was not helping him out at all. He was a genuinely very good hitter. He's 38 years old now, but, I mean, he was pretty amazing for a while there. And the Palomas traded for him as kind of a veteran, somebody that could really bring this clubhouse together. And he must have done a pretty good job of it because they lasted quite a while in the playoffs.
Okay.
Next pinch hitter is number 8, Calimaco Quintana. 367 OPS, 1 run batted in. See what Umber does against him. Strikes him out on a sinker. Puts him away, and here comes pinch hitter number 60, Jorge Barrios. He's 1 for 11 in the spring with 2 runs batted in. Man on first and 2 outs. And Umbar gets him to pop out to, looks like that's going to be second base. Sherdlu has the can of corn, and we're through 7 innings. The Navegadores remain in front of the Palomas, 1-0. Now pitching for the Palomas de Cidra, as, by the way, Quintana takes over short, Galvez at third, and is that Fenton Johnson in right field?
That would be my guess, but I can't be confident.
Yeah, exactly the same. Anyway, number 19, Fenton Johnson, now standing in right field. That boy is going... Have you heard the meme about that boy nice? It's a way of watching sports.
Okay.
There's
sorry, what?
It's a way of watching sports. There's the stat nerds, and then there's the that boy nice.
I see.
Fan.
Uh-huh.
Well, that boy gonna be real nice. Based on these statistics.
So you're doing both at one time.
That is true. But really, well, sorry. I shouldn't say the statistics as in what he's done. I mean what the contact and power ratings on this guy look like. He's going to be awesome. Like, he can hit the hell out of the ball. He knows which pitches to swing at. He's dangerous.
Okay. Let's
pitching.
see if he lives up to it.
Let's see. And pitching for the Palomas de Cidra. This is the other Dominican pitcher I almost went after ages ago. Diomedes Avila, number 25, 12 and 2/3 innings, ERA of 0.71, which is pretty incredible because he has 9 walks to 4 strikeouts and 11 hits. The fact that he has allowed only 1 earned run in all this time is almost absurd. He'll face Underwood, Getman, and Feaster. Those are 3 pretty fearsome hitters to go up against. Let's see what Avila does. Underwood is 0 for 1 on the day. Here we go. Underwood on the 1-2 count. He flew out last time. This time, it is a catch in left field. Ugh. 2 pretty good line drives, and neither one of them landing on grass. Rough go of it.
Mm-hmm.
Here comes Jake Getman, who's 0 for 1 on the day as well. Bases empty and 1 out. On the 2-1 count, Getman puts the first hit we've seen from the Naves in a while through. He'll be on base as McGregor can't quite field it. Feaster comes up. He's 1 for 3. The Naves might have something cooking here in the top of the 8th. As that changeup got hit through. Getman has 4 steals, but I believe he's been caught a number of times. Let's see. He is exactly 50-50 on stolen bases. 4 steals, 4 caughts. First pitch to Feaster. There goes Getman, and sure enough, he is gunned down at second base. The aggressive base running not paying off here for Pedro Sanchez. So Avila, good holder. And that certainly is going to counteract the fact that Sanchez behind the plate. By the way, his nickname is The Dome.
He lives here. He's like the Phantom of the Opera of this dome.
He was born in the dome. You just adopted the dome. He was born in it, molded by it.
Yeah, it's just that box number, I don't remember what it was, 12, is always left empty for his use only.
I like that we are taking this in 2 very different directions. You went Phantom of the Opera. I'm over here going full Bane.
Yep. You're imagining him causing an earthquake that breaks the ground of the field. I am imagining he's up in the rafters sawing through the chandelier that hangs above the field.
If baseball stadia had chandeliers, the repair budgets on them would somehow be even higher. But I have another question for you. Did you know that I think at the time still, the actual mayor of actual Pittsburgh was in that scene?
What?
Luke Ravenstahl used to play football, and then he became mayor of Pittsburgh, and he was in that scene from The Dark Knight because they shot that in Pittsburgh.
Huh. Well, good for him.
I think most of the Gotham Rogues are Steelers players, but I could be wrong.
Now you imagine for me that the natural is taking place in a dome such as this, and when he hits that ball, it does not break one of the lights, it breaks a beautiful crystal chandelier, and crystals rain down on him as he runs the bases.
Yes, that makes
Pretty good,
perfect
huh?
sense. Yeah. The natural of the opera. I don't, I don't know that Robert Redford, that era Robert Redford, would have agreed to, like, half that makeup on half of his face and then wear a mask on the other half.
Yeah.
He's sitting there like, I'm sorry, you're not messing with this moneymaker, and then he touches his nose.
He could wear a little hat. It could be representative.
That would, yes, a baseball cap that also has the mask coming down from underneath it, like he's Orville Peck.
Yes. Oh,
I'm
so
actually
good.
into this idea now. I just sold myself on this.
Yep. Oh, it's so good. No one
Great.
steal our idea. We're
Like I
working on
have,
this. We
like
cannot
I
steal.
need more projects to work on.
This is the one that gets us.
That was the worst possible moment for your audio to cut out. This is the one that gets us what?
This is the one that gets us rich. This
Mm-hmm.
idea.
Yeah, it sure does.
19th century baseball mixed with Batman, mixed with Phantom of the Opera.
It how could it lose?
Exactly. It's got something for everybody. This is a 4-quadrant movie. It's a movie now, by the way. This is a
Great.
screenplay we're writing.
High concept as hell.
Mm-hmm.
Rob Feaster, 2 outs, bases empty, 0-1 count. And he grounds out meekly to short. Quintana has it, throws to first, and that is the end of the top of the 8th. The score remains the same as Anbar. 12 pitches over that inning, so we'll bring in Chad Hancock and Hector Varela in case he gets in trouble. For his first pinch hitter, he will face number 3, Miguel Angel Gonzalez, 731. Whoa. Gonzalez, not known for his hitting, his highest average in his last 3 seasons has been 2.41. And last year he fell under the Mendoza line, but he's doing very well in spring.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens here. Kareem picked up 1 inning of work, 1 hit, and 1 strikeout. And looks like he's starting this one off by giving... Oh! He got Gonzalez to swing on a 3-0 count. Ham running that down. He puts the glove up, and that is a fly out. Long fly it out there. But I thought for sure Anbar was giving out the leadoff walk there, and he did not. Kudos to him. Did you know kudos is singular?
I've heard that, but it doesn't feel right. It's Greek, isn't it?
It's Greek for praise or honor or something along those lines. It's modern Greek.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to know it off the top of my head. But yeah, so you do not, when you are granting somebody kudos, it's as if you're granting someone honor. It is a collective or general, abstract noun.
Yes. I mean, it makes sense, but I don't like it.
Here comes Steven McGregor, the Englishman. He's 1 for 1. 1 out, bases empty. McGregor singled back in the 6th, and here he lines one right back to Ham, his fellow Englishman, who picks it up and gets it. 2 outs in a row to center field. Huh. The first one I would have considered a 1-star play. This one I would say, well, okay, maybe he didn't have to cover that much ground. Just kind of looked like it from the camera angle. But here comes the catcher, Pedro Sanchez, 4 for 19 in the spring, a 4.61 OPS with 1 run batted in. 2 outs, bases empty. There we go. Outfield playing deep for Sanchez as he flies out to left field. Jake Getman running in, and he's got it. Out number 3. We go into the top of the 9th. The Navegadores holding on to this gossamer thing.
Real quick. Is this how you expected this game to go? Because I certainly did not. No, after the very first at-bat resulted in a home run. This is so wild.
This is why spring training baseball kind of rocks. Because this is what every game is like. The most random people get to play the hero.
Oh, that's kind of beautiful in its own way.
Exactly. If you look at, we're just going to take a quick peek at the Navegadores channel. So a few games ago, Naguabo and Rio Grande played, and Anbar got his first win over a guy named Arthur Fleetwood, which, no notes. And
Sorry, what's that name?
Arthur Fleetwood.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, his son Mick, would later become quite famous. Anyway,
Mm-hmm.
and that game was closed out by our new fronterizo prospect, Veloso Gamarra, which, what is that guy doing as a closer, But he was the next man up. He got called up. That happened.
Mm-hmm.
Or I'm trying to look at what was the other one. There was a game a really long time. Here we go. A 20-inning game between Naguabo and Ciales, where the winning pitcher was Moldovan recruit Marius Capicisu, and the save was by
Wow.
Pelayo Fernandez. These are guys that we signed a couple months ago.
Wow.
And we used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 pitchers.
In one game?
Yep.
Is that a record? Seems like it would be.
For the Naves, it might be. They like to
Who else?
emphasize.
Yeah, I was going to say, for the Naves, which have been under reasonable, sensible human control, I know the other teams, which are under computer control, don't like to have a lot of pitchers. So does
No, they
anyone
don't.
else even have that many pitchers to use?
They probably do in spring, because what every team will do is just bring their developmental guys on. And right
I
now,
see.
you only
Okay.
have one level of developmental guys. In the future, what you will see is that teams will bring up the guys that they think have a chance of making the roster or that they want to see develop. So if you're
Okay.
some dude that's you've hit the wall at 27, you're not going to get any better. Chances are pretty good you're not coming along for the spring. I could be wrong.
All right.
That might not be the case, but that seems to be how teams are going to use their rosters, because you can only have 60 players, which sounds like a lot until you realize, wait, at full minor league existence, right? You're going to have over 100 players in the organization. So,
Yeah.
where are you going to cut your 40? And especially considering that 25 of them are your major league roster.
Yes. Very complicated.
Exactly. Here comes pitcher number 13, Raul Alvarez, a righty. He's pitched 7 innings, 7 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, 1 strikeout. He will face De Castillo, Salmeron, and Bach as Gonzalez takes over in left field. Rayos moving to center. Ooh, looks like De Castillo going after that first pitch. It's right to short. Oh, he drops it. Quintana cannot actually pick it up. It's not an error because he didn't drop it, sorry. He actually never managed to get a handle on it. So it's an infield hit for De Castillo. He'll be on first with no outs for Pablo Salmeron, who is 1 for 3.
Woo.
First pitch to him. There goes De Castillo. He will be in second, easily ahead of the throw. It is his second steal of the spring. With a man in scoring position, let's see if Salmeron is interested in finally opening up this game a little bit. 1-0 count. Salmeron hits that one into center field, but not nearly hard enough. It's a line drive, but Rayos makes it look easy. So, Wally Bach comes up. Man on second, 1 out. He's over 3. Can he do any better? 0-1 count. Bach hits that one to short. He'll get sent off at first. Quintana to McGregor, but De Castillo advances to third and could give them a nice little insurance run if Kim can come through here. He's 0 for 2. Varela and Hancock will be in the pen to start the next inning. 2 outs, man on third. Kim, 0-2 count. Grounds that one out to second, but that's going to be an error. That ball is away.
Ooh.
Ethan Davis can't make it happen as the throw sails wide of McGregor. Kim takes second, and De Castillo scores on the error, which should have been an inning-ending groundout. Instead becomes an RBI reach.
Wow.
A reach BI, if you will.
I won't.
Probably shouldn't. That's probably a good idea. Here comes Sherlew, who's 0 for 2, as he faces Alvarez, who certainly thought he'd be heading back to the dugout by now. With 2 outs and a man on second, what can he do? Sherlew on the 2-2 count. Another meek one right to Quintana, and no problem this time. He takes it himself to first. Sherlew is out. The sign is retired. And it's one of my favorite country songs. 1 error, 1 hit, 1 run.
Nice.
And they strain the runner. So we head into the bottom of the 9th. Anbar will be replaced by Varela on the mound. Number 41, Hector Varela, ERA of 2.70. He's pitched 6 and 2/3 innings, 6 hits, 2 runs, 4 strikeouts, and a walk. And he will face Guillermo Rayos, Ethan Davis, who had that error that scored the second run, and Alonso Galvez. Rayos is... Boy, has he not come up to bat? He didn't draw a walk, it looks like. I don't know what he did. I cannot remember this for the life of me. Well, let's see. He entered in the 5th.
Has he not?
Apparently not. According to this. Oh, wait, there we go. He sack bunted in the 6th.
Okay.
Okay.
I feel like I feel like that run, that error given up in the last half is kind of proof that they're not really gonna. They've already mentally lost this game. The Palomas. What do you think?
Here's hoping, because the guy they've got coming up will rip your heart out and make you eat it. Hercules Parra, number 2, now pinch hitting for the Palomas, and this is... I don't even understand why he's not starting. I mean, I know he doesn't have a defensive home, but he's a designated hitter. So what? Put him there. The man is riding an OPS in spring of 1241.
Wild. He's almost into the Renaissance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's after the Magna Carta.
Incredible.
4 runs batted in, no steals. He's not a particularly fast guy. But he used to play for the Murciélagos. He plays for the Palomas. This man loves nothing more than to annoy Navegadores fans. He plays for all of our least favorite teams.
Mm-hmm.
And he will face Varela here. He didn't get a hit the one time they faced off. Let's see what happens here. But let's do this. Let's do this. Final predictions. Okay. Do you think this is going to be the final score of the game?
Yes, I do. What do you think?
2-1.
Oh, okay.
Charge. Parra on the full count. Strikes out, but it's a drop third strike. Ooh, Salmeron has to go get it, but he throws to first and completes the strikeout. So it is strikeout number 1, nonetheless. Out number 1, strikeout number 1 for Varela, as Parra is sent down. That means we get a new pinch hitter, number 17, Leon Sanabria. OPS of 742, and no runs batted in, no home runs. I'm going to guess Puerto Rican. Yep. That's usually a pretty good guess around here.
That's true.
3-0 count for him, and Varela gives up the walk. 4 sinkers, none of them particularly close, and I think they've just played into Cidra's hands by giving that walk, because my suspicion is that Cidra has a bench and a freaking half waiting for you.
Oh man, I would be quite impressed if they're able to do anything.
Interesting. Actually, well, Rafael Mangual is still sitting on the bench, and he's somebody that I would be very worried about. Jesús Lucio, maybe, the catcher. He was the catcher for the Puerto Rican Copa Mundial team as well.
Mm-hmm.
But Alex Snyder is a great player, and I'd be worried about him for sure. Even though in the spring he's 1 for 10, and he's never gotten a hit off of Varela, but that's because they've only seen each other twice. So let's see what happens here. Man on first and 1 out. Snyder on the full count. Pops it up into foul territory. Kim running in to get it. You know, it's an interesting mark of the styles of leadership. When it was Stonehand back there, if a foul ball went into that part of the park, and it popped up like that, usually the players would wait to see if Stonehand was going to try catching it before they ran in.
Yeah.
Number 1, the man was a wall of rock. So if you ran into him, you might end up on the injured list. But also it was a mark of how much they respected their team captain that they wouldn't, even try it.
Yeah.
With Salmeron, you saw there, Kim saw it was popped up. He saw he could catch it. He's like, I'm in. I'm going for it. Don't even worry about it. I don't think it's going to be a big deal. I don't think it's going to decide a game anytime soon or anything, but it's worth pointing that out, keeping that in mind.
Okay.
And here we go. possibly for the last at bat of the game. Here comes Enrique Navarrete, who's already got a hit today. He did that off of Anbar, the other big bullpen name for Navegadores. Here on the 1-1 count, Navarrete grounds it out to third. Balk has it, throws to second, and the revenge is complete. It might be spring. It might be a meaningless training game. It might be one where everybody was using a bunch of their bullpen and pinch hitters and whatnot. But the Navegadores take this tilt to 0, scoring in the first and in the ninth.
Amazing.
Hey, a win's a win. Even if the only guys that got hits were Feaster, De Castillo, and Salmeron at the top of your lineup, and then Getman at the bottom of it. And then he got caught stealing.
Yes.
But hey, we got to see Rob Feaster home run. A nice little... It wasn't quite a nuke. He didn't hit it that high, but, a good grackle a tackle out there.
I'll allow it.
Everton Stack gets his third win of the spring. 5 innings pitched, 2 hits, 5 strikeouts on 59 pitches. Model of efficiency. Francis Norman his second hold, Kareem Anbar his third hold, and Hector Varela gets his first save of the spring. Bullpen held up. Obviously, nobody allowed any runs. Anibal Mojica taking his first loss of the spring. And of course, how can we forget Underwood nailing Corona at second base to end an inning?
So good.
That's what we got. Low scoring game, unfortunately. We like to see some exciting back and forth, lead changes, whatnot, but it's the spring. These guys are trying not to get hurt. You can understand where the impulse is coming from here.
Yeah, definitely.
Any final thoughts, Louisa?
I thought for sure that getting a home run in the very first at-bat meant that the Naves were either going to bust loose and get a million home runs, or take that as a sign that they could just sit back and coast for the entire rest of the game. They didn't really do either, which is very surprising. And the fact that they scored another run right near the end to prove that they intended to win this game, that was very good. I was proud of them for that.
Yeah, it was particularly interesting to see that because, again, it's Kim, one of the slowest runners on the team. So if you're Ethan Davis in that circumstance, right, you have time to get rid of that ball. You don't have to throw it from your knees. You have all the time in the world to throw to first, end the inning, 1-0 lead. Maybe more of an exciting chance for the pinch hitters in the bottom of the ninth to come in, maybe a little bit different mentally. But that's why you play these games, so that guys like Ethan Davis, guys that maybe aren't going to start, I actually don't know how old he is. He is 31, so he's definitely going to have to be at the major league level. He can't play for the Sabaneros, I think is Cidra's developmental team. So at that age, I mean, obviously he's going to have to play. Maybe that's a lesson for him. He takes that into the season. He says, okay, I have to be better about this.
Mm-hmm.
That's the kind of thing you're trying to iron out here, especially in the first couple weeks. What I believe this is just about the halfway point. This is when you start to see teams send back players to the developmental level because they're kind of saying, okay, we get where you are for this season. This is enough. We've seen what we need to see. And the Navegadores will probably start sending their prospects home soon as well. They don't want them to get injured or anything like that. And we'll see. Okay. Ideally, we will be back next week with the beginning of the 1907 season. We're really sorry that this was a fairly short game. We're coming in under 2 hours as of right now with all of the extra stuff we did, just because it was so low scoring. We'll have to keep that in mind for future outings, because we know we like to hang out and do interesting things, do our jokes and so on. And then we'll have to find a new poem to perform next time. But until then, this has been, as always, Isidro Montalvo Espinosa, broadcast coordinator for Liga Nacional Puertorriqueña en Vivo. And as I grab another shot of my favorite restorative, that's right, Dr. Gonzalez's wood tar liquor, I say to you, buenas noches, gracias mil, y Dios les bendiga.